What's up, guys? Let's get into a trade recap of the day of June 23rd, 2026. We took this loss today on the NASDAQ, but let's get into it. So, on the higher time frame, on the 4-hour, I was overall bearish just because we were disrespecting this 4-hour bearish and continuing that move down. We had a drastic move of bearish candles sweeping out this low and starting to move towards this NWOG. At this point, we were like about right here, so I figured this low would get swept, and I wanted to take a continuation short, maybe retrace into like a 30-minute, and then reject down to this low, or maybe even to these 4-hour gaps here and these distinct lows. So that's kind of the idea for today. Let's get into market open. I'll make this one a quick one, but let's see. So the ideal trade was there, as market opened here, there was a 30-minute gap that got left in pre-market. I wanted to see an open high into that 30-minute, get a Judas swing, get a 1-minute inverse, and then target this 930 wick. That was like my ideal A+ setup, but that did not happen. We did manipulate lower initially. We got an open low, high close. So we 930 candle manipulated lower, didn't sweep out any fair value gap, so there's no long setup there. And then the rest of the day, it kind of just chopped and went long here, and it just pushed up. So now we entered a 4-hour gap. So I expected to get a bearish reaction there. We entered this 4-hour gap that was made at, I think, what time was it at? I don't remember. But this 4-hour gap got hit, and I wanted to see it get hit and respect it and take a short down. And it went pretty far in it that I thought it was going to get inversed, and it seemed like it was going to, like, the whole price action of the morning was pretty bullish. So we were inside of a 4-hour bearish, respecting, and we were currently respecting it, so I wanted to see a continuation short. I wanted to see it get respected and open up like a 5-minute gap, and then take a retest continuation short back down to the 930 wick. However, at this point right here, we just edged an hourly gap. So if you go to that hourly gap over here, there's a bearish hourly. So that was my agreed upon DOL. I figured that even though we're inside of a 4-hour, I figured that if we were going to be bearish today, we would fill that hourly and then continue lower. And the same thing for bullish. If we were going to continue higher and be bullish today, we would hit that hourly and run through it back up to these hourly gaps. So that was my agreed upon DOL. So now I just needed a key level to get hit to take the trade back up to that hourly gap. So it was perfect. We came up to that hourly gap. We didn't hit it. We generated liquidity, some low resistance here. And then we opened up a 15-minute gap. We retested it here with an SMT. We had an inverse here, an inverse here with a displacing candle. Entered off that candlestick closure. And we got stopped out almost instantly. Break even at these equal bodies, targeting that hourly gap 1-to-1, and we got stopped out pretty quick. Why did this trade fail? Well, there's two reasons why I think it failed. One, we were in the 4-hour and we were very bearish, so maybe that 4-hour just gets respected and we leave behind that hourly. However, I really did think we were going to come up to this hourly gap, especially because we edged it and made low resistance here. So we were in a 4-hour. That's one reason we could have lost. And I think there was an SMT here. So as soon as I entered this trade, we formed an SMT here. So what it looked like on ES is we did something like this. So instead of making this higher high, we made a lower high from there to there. We made a lower high right here, and I think that's what sent price lower. But yeah, I saw a lot of people take this trade. In my eyes, it was still A+. 15-minute continuation, a 1-minute inverse SMT, clear break even at the equal bodies, low resistance leading up to your higher time frame DOL. I think it was an A+ setup, just ended up being a loss today. But yeah, that's the trade recap of June 23rd, 2026. Peace.